We're back to working on our sequence assignment in PIXLR on our photography unit in exploration of graphic design. Now, I did a demonstration on how to create this sequence in PIXLR, and I didn't show you how to resize the images. Now, it is extremely important to resize your images because I've had a lot of students come back to me and say, hey, Mr. Clement, PIXLR just keeps crashing. It keeps crashing. It's so frustrating. So due to PIXLR being an online app that we can use on our web browser, it tends to crash. So what I've done, or what I've done in the past to get around that, is go to image, image size, and anything above 2000 pixels I find gets kind of laggy on our Chromebooks and it's hard to support. So even here, this image I created on my computer is quite large. It's 4000 pixels wide by 3000 pixels high. Now make sure that the checkbox for constrained proportions stays on. Otherwise, if you go to edit one of these values, the other number will not, it'll just look squished or stretched. So instead here I'm going to make my width 2000. I'm going to go half the size. And notice how the height also goes to half the height. So I'm going to do 2000 pixels in width. I'm going to click OK and give it a second. So you notice here it just scaled down. So that image is physically smaller now. Same with every other layer that I have in this sequence assignment. Now in class I've suggested for you to resize every image as you bring it in. So for example, if I went File, Open Image, and I've got all this content on my desktop, so I'm going to go to, I'm just doing a practice run here, click on an image, and I would open that image. So I'll give it a moment. There is a new image here, image 7812. This is the Paxton sequence that I was just showing you. I'm going to close that one because I don't need it. Okay, first thing I would do with this image I just brought in, let's say I was ready to drag it into my original sequence assignment, I would go to image, image size, and again change the value. So there it says 4000, I would change it to 2000. So I would just make it half the width, half the height. Click OK, and now I would be ready to drag that background layer into my next sequence. When I'm done, I will not do that. I just wanted to recap and go over how important it is to save your file in between every layer and resize every image and scale it down at least to half. And if you're using a professional camera, then the resolution could be quite large, and I would suggest not to exceed 2000 pixels with width or height. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy this assignment. Okay, take care.